All right, well, given your location, I would like to follow up with another question about Europe. And recently, this week, we've received a number of appeals from Europe calling on the United States, the people of the United States, to mobilize, and the U.S. Congress to pass the reinstatement of Glass-Steagall. We recently received a call from the head of the Lega Nord caucus in Italy, a letter directly to the two main sponsors of HR 129, congratulating Walter Jones and Marcy Kaptur for having the bill introduced into the federal legislature, and stating that they have followed very closely the work being done in the United States on passing Glass-Steagall back into law. And it's signed, trusting that your bill will be soon approved by Congress and also introduced in the U.S. Senate. We shall keep you informed of the progress of our own legislative proposal in Italy, where Lega Nord recently had a companion bill, essentially companion to the American bill, to reintroduce Glass-Steagall bank separation in Italy. We also received a very urgent call from a city council person in Germany, requesting that for the sake of Europe, the United States reinstate Glass-Steagall. There's also a letter being passed around in Spain urging the Congress to pass Glass-Steagall, saying that the economic and financial crisis that Spain is suffering and in Europe of the euro is reaching intolerable limits for our population. Going on to elaborate on the unemployment, the austerity, the loss of hope in a nation that has young people who had the potential to be the best educated in the history of the nation. So with these calls, additional other calls are coming in from Greece, from Cyprus as well. But with these calls, I would like you to elaborate more for, in particular, our American viewing audience, what exactly this fundamental difference is between our system in the United States and the European system.
Well, the European system, of course, is complicated. It does admit of very precise differences in policy. Largely, for example, you had a period in German history under Bismarck in which the policies of Bismarck's administration in the post-World War or post-Civil War period, U.S. Civil War period, in which he actually emulated on every basis what the Benjamin Franklin and his administration had represented in terms of a policy of economic development. So you have a history in Europe, especially in Bismarck's Germany, in which the exact copy of the intention of policy making in Germany was the same as that essentially of the United States in the same period. But in general, Europe does not presently have any of the attributes of the better days of Europe in past times. That is the 20th century in particular, then the current century. So it's a weak system. Now there in Europe, including the United Kingdom, there is a push, a commitment for Glass-Steagall. In many cases, they don't know what they're talking about but in a number of cases of leading people, they do, including certain bankers and so forth, have made it very clear. They understand exactly what Glass-Steagall means in a practical application. That is being weakened now and I don't. There's no hope of any initiative from Europe now, from the governments now. But what we have is, if the United States proceeds to act contrary to Obama, proceeds to act for Glass-Steagall in the United States, not only will that decision cause a sudden surge of return of the United States to its historic role, because that's what Glass-Steagall will do. And on the same time, Glass-Steagall being passed in the United States would be probably picked up outside the United States itself by other countries. They would be encouraged. For example, we have cases in Britain, cases in other parts of Europe, where significant numbers of people would support Glass-Steagall and understand more or less accurately what they mean by doing that and what their proposals are competent. So we are in a situation now that the overall pattern of what we can deduce is, if we in the United States, once we in the United States have put through Glass-Steagall in the United States again, you will find immediately a sudden turn within parts of Europe who will turn to Glass-Steagall as the obvious solution for their problems. And that's the way we have to look at it.